confirms the story.
Okay. How do I do a toy brush?
48 hours into the investigation, police are no closer to solving the mystery
today's
of
color
the
is
G
blue,
family.
and this represents loyalty.
They've got plenty of
So
clues,
let's get started.
sure. The handprint, the footprint, the description of the truck. But until any of that is attached to a suspect, all anyone knows for sure is that the family is gone and a savage killer is on the loose.
Kroger delivery is always fresh because we check our produce at every stop on its journey to you. We're fresh every day, so shop any way. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
You're never responsible for unauthorized purchases on your Discover card.
Are you serious?
What you watching?
Discovery Plus. It literally has all my favorite genres. What else would I be watching?
You stream you, girl.
Thanks, girl.
You get it, girl.
There's something for everyone on Discovery Plus. Stream now for just $4.99.
The murder of the G family has everyone in the little town of Beeson, Illinois, double and triple checking their doors and windows are locked.
The people out in Beeson, they're scared to death. And quite frankly, I don't blame them.
Is someone else in town next on the list? What's next? Are you safe? Are you not safe? All that still runs through your mind the entire time.
Police have been able to run down quite a few leads, but so far nothing.
When you have 5 people dead in one location in a community the size of Beeson, it really was chaos. It's just everybody's searching. How can this happen here? What's going on? Everybody's searching for answers. There really weren't any good answers. We had literally hundreds of leads that were followed, and many of them took us nowhere.
Even their best one, that mysterious gray pickup truck with exhaust pipes sticking out of the bed, a neighbor swears he saw, is coming up empty. Perhaps the only hope of catching the person responsible is in the hands of the savage attack's lone survivor, 3-year-old Tabitha G.
Karen Bright, she's dead.
Tabitha's a fighter,
Okay, now let your
but
primer
with
set.
injuries so severe. Check out Chris's shoes against the cast they took at the G house. They also look at his truck.
Right now, I'll try to get that out of stuff in the bed.
It fits the description a neighbor reported seeing in the area the night of the murders. Except for one thing.
It didn't have, chrome exhaust pipes in it.
Right model and everything.
Just as Chris's truck almost fits the description of the one seen in the area, his shoes, too, are a near miss. They're the same style and brand, but are a half size too big. Which means investigators are no closer to getting the truth about what happened that horrible night at the G house. Now over a week into the investigation, the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office, as well as the Illinois State Police, are feeling the pressure to get the case solved, lest they have a complete panic on their hands. The rumor mill in the little town is only making matters worse.
Message from the dark side there is.
Be drug related to a random person just come in and just killed the family out of the blue to
just went off and killed the family. I mean, there were so many different things that were said.
What was coming out more than anything is that this is satanic sort of stuff.
While the citizens of Beeson may believe a crazed satanic killer has invaded their little town, police aren't so sure. Problem is, until they can identify a suspect, all theories have to be viewed as possible. 10 days after Rick and Ruth G. and 3 of their kids were murdered, police are still scratching for clues. And though popular rumors put blame on a mysterious satanic cult, the violence of the attack seems to point towards someone who may have known the G's and had reason to visit such horror upon the whole family.
It usually indicates that the attacker knew his victims.
They were looking for someone that might have a reason to commit this atrocious crime and have some contact with the G family.
Under pressure from the investigation for almost 2 weeks, the on-again, off-again relationship between Rick G's eldest daughter, Nicole, and her husband, Christopher Harris, takes a turn for the worse. He believes the police are unfairly targeting him as a suspect, and while Nicole doesn't believe he had anything to do with it, she's also decided she doesn't want anything to do with him. As far as police are concerned, a number of key pieces of evidence do seem to point to him. Almost, anyway. He drives a gray pickup truck, but it does not have the distinctive exhaust pipes a witness identified. And his shoes match the brand of a footprint found at the scene, but not the size.
Why did you think that?
What are you doing? I don't want to do that.
Let me in for a minute. I just need 5 minutes of your time. You know what? How many times have you said that? Give me 5 minutes. We're going to talk this out, okay? 5 minutes.
Police refuse to give up on Chris Harris, but without more evidence at this point, they've reached a dead end.
I swear we found our new SUV on Cars.com. Yeah, feels like it's always been part of the family. Cars.com knew every single feature we wanted, as if we'd been on the site a million times before. Yet it was our very first search. The new Cars.com.
Can't match. Hey, what's Chris? Yeah. What? What's hands there? What's going on with this? You're under arrest for what?
Chris Harris is a perfect match for the bloody handprint found in the G house.
When you've got a bloody palm print that belongs to Chris Harris, the flags go to the top of the pole.
That was the thing that absolutely cinched it. I mean, what's he going to do? He's cooked.
When word gets out that an arrest has been made, you would think that the town of Beeson would give a huge collective sigh of relief. But they don't.
There were several people that weren't very happy. Several people in shock. You know, even a little outraged. He couldn't do that, you know.
The first thing that popped in my head is they got the wrong person. They've obviously got the wrong person. It can't be Chris.
And perhaps the most shocked of all is his estranged wife, the only member of the G family not attacked that night.
Nicole was convinced that Chris had nothing to do with it, and that they had gotten
Let
it
your
all
foundation
wrong.
set.
But it was somewhat odd that Nicole...
Sorry, it got hot
He
here.
walked into a horror show. He thought Richie was asleep on the floor. He walked in, sees like Ruth, looks in and sees Austin. He hears a creak in the floor, turns
This
around
every
and
freaking
sees
day with my contacts.
Dylan there standing there with a knife. At that point, he became engaged in hand-to-hand combat with Dylan.
Chris tells police that he killed Dylan in self-defense and fled. If this is true, why does he wait till he's arrested to tell the story?
I'm gonna have to clean it.
Chris says, I didn't want to be part of this. I didn't want anything to do with it. I never wanted to have to explain it to my ex-wife when I saw her that I killed her brother. I tried my best to cover my tracks.
It's quite a story, but can Chris Harris prove it's true? If not, he and his brother are looking at spending the rest of their lives behind bars. For the past few weeks, the small Illinois farming community of Beeson has been on a roller coaster ride. It all started when a crazed killer invaded their town and murdered everyone inside Rick and Ruth G's house, including 3 of their kids. Now, one of their own, the friend and son-in-law of the victims, is under arrest for the crime. And as word filters out that Chris Harris is blaming everything on the family's 14-year-old son, Dylan, and that he killed him in self-defense, the little town doesn't know what to think.
I hit some folks real hard in terms of having this presented, this alternative scenario.
While Chris's tale of heroism in the face of horror is compelling, police don't buy it. They indict him on over 50 charges, including multiple counts of first-degree murder. And since his brother Jason has admitted to being with Chris the night of the murders, and the G's computer is found in the back of his truck, they charge him too. That's enough for Jason. He agrees to turn state's evidence against his brother. The beginning of his story matches what Chris has said all along. The 2 brothers went out drinking. From there, though, the versions part ways dramatically. According to Jason, they bought some beers and drove around a bit, eventually heading back to Beeson.
Chris made a couple calls trying to hook up with female companionship. He didn't have much luck there.
Jason says that while him and Chris were driving around Beeson that night before they went to the house, and this is when the gentleman saw the truck driving around town, that Chris had said to him that Justina has been looking at him strange lately and sort of coming on to him, and that he was going to go there and he was going to have sex with her.
Justina is Chris's estranged wife Nicole's half-sister.
I think she's kind of got a thing for me. And she's 16 though. She's like 16 though. Yeah, she's just 16. Finally coming to terms with how hot her brother-in-law is. So, I mean, I think she's cute. Would that be a bad thing?
Yeah. Dude, there's adult. Still be a bad thing. It's a grown ass man. Yeah, that's a bad thing, bro. Bad thing. Bad. Bad.
You must meet Hercule Poirot.
Ah.
He's the greatest detective.
Okay, I got issues.
When you have money, no one is ever really your friend.
Someone is dead. The murderer is one of you. What did you do last night?
You accused me of murder.
He accuses everyone of murder. It is a problem I admit from the Nile with a PG-13.
Ready to shine from the inside out? Try Nature's Bounty Hair, Skin, and Nails Gummies. The #1 brand to support beautiful hair, glowing skin, and healthy nails. And introducing Jelly Beans with 2 times more biotin.
Verizon is going ultra, and so is your home internet. What's this? Verizon 5G for your home? See ya, cable. Just plug and play. It's ultra fast, ultra simple 5G home internet. It's 50% off with your unlimited plan. Verizon is going ultra, so you can too.
Project, you ready to tackle this? Emmy Award-winning This Old House is your go-to resource for home improvement expertise and renovation advice.
This is quite a project.
And now you set up shop on the Roku channel. You want to go check it out? So, whether you've got ambitious renovation plans or just some repairs you've been putting off, count on our trusted experts to walk you through every step of the process.
Perfect.
Catch the episode of This Old House and Ask This Old House every Monday, only on the Roku channel. Let's get to work.
At this point, Jason Harris claims he still had no inkling of what horrors were about to transpire. But he does remember thinking it was strange for his brother Chris to grab the truck's tire iron before going inside the house. Before long, all hell breaks loose.
He had heard what sounded like a bowling ball being dropped on the floor, followed closely by a woman's scream. That would have been within 3 minutes of Chris entering the home.
Soon after, Jason says he sees 14-year-old Dylan crawl out a side window and stumble around the yard before going back in through the door. A few minutes later, Dylan comes back out the door. This time, he isn't alone.
Harris believes that he's probably killed him, and he goes back in to finish the job, and then Dylan gets back up and goes back in to try and help his family.
The kid knew that his family was being harmed, and he was going to go back in and help. He had an opportunity to save himself, and he didn't. He went in to help his family.
Jason claims that on the way back to his house, Christopher throws the
There's your
murder
blue
weapon and
look.
his bloody shoes out the truck window. In exchange for a 20-year sentence, Jason agrees to testify against his brother. Police believe they have a very strong case against Chris Harris. They recover the tire iron and the shoes from a creek bed and are able to establish that Harris had bought a new pair, a half-size larger, the day after.
And that's your blue look.
They also determine the blood outside the house is from Dylan, not the killer, which explains why